make it today, we can send them this information. So hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kayla Franklin. I know most of you, or at least have spoken with most of you. I am a health education coordinator with the South Central AHEC, and I am many of yours case manager for the WIOA program. And I am here with my colleague Teresa, who I will let introduce herself.
So hi everybody, my name is Teresa Novakovic. I'm also a health education coordinator with Kayla, and I am a WIOA case manager also. I case manage students outside of the Anchorage area, so specifically focusing on the Mat-Su Valley right now. We're growing that. I've got a couple of students in Homer also. So Kayla has the majority of our caseload in Anchorage, and we're hoping to grow that outside of Anchorage too, and I'll be their case manager. So thank you for attending today.
So Teresa and I have put together a presentation for you with some important WIOA points and information that for most of you it may be a little bit of a reminder, but what we're hearing is that having this information gone over again has been very beneficial for other people who may have been in the program for a couple of years. We know you all have questions regarding work experience and didactic hours for this coming up grant year, so that's the purpose of today. If you have any questions, let us know. We can answer those kind of towards the end of the presentation. But we can go ahead and get started as soon as you're ready to pull it up.
I'm ready as soon as you let me share my screen.
Oh, yes, that is something I have to do. Okay. All right, should be good to go.
Great. Are you seeing it?
Yep, can everyone see and hear? I'm still, all right, awesome. Okay, well, I kind of already gave an introduction. We will be talking about the WIOA program, or the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
So just a brief overview of what the WIOA grant is and what the program is. It's a grant from the State of Alaska Department of Labor. To be eligible for the grant, you must be a permanent resident or a U.S. citizen, qualify as low income. That's only for individuals who are in school or, hold on a second, in school or high school graduates. If a person is not graduated from high school, if they've dropped out, or if they're not in school at this time, they do not need to meet that low income eligibility requirement. They need to be between the ages of 14 and 24 at the time of enrollment. You can continue being a WIOA participant past the age of 24 until you're 26. At that point, you age out, but as long as you begin or enroll before you're 24 years old, that's great. That qualifies you. And then you need to be experiencing one or more barriers to employment or education. And we'll talk a little more about that and why that is. But basically, the WIOA grant is trying to help level the playing field so everybody has the same type of opportunities to succeed in school, to succeed in getting a good career. And we here at South Central AHEC specifically focus on healthcare. So if you're interested in a healthcare career, we're here to help take care of barriers, or at least make them less intimidating so you can be successful in school. So the goals of the program: placement and success in post-secondary education and training, work readiness to get you ready to hit the ground running once you complete your training and get a really good job, be a good employee, and be valuable to your employers. Social skills development, and of course, employment in a healthcare career. So that's what the whole, our purpose is to help you achieve those goals.
So how can WIOA help you achieve achieve these goals educationally and professionally. So we do have case management for you. That is our role, Teresa and mine, for you all. And that is really so that we can learn where your needs are, where your passions lie, and how we can help you individually. Everyone has a unique interest and unique needs, and that case management piece of it really allows us to get to know you all as students and as individuals. We can help provide training and job shadow opportunities as well as career connections. And just as last year, we have our education and work experience stipend. This is the same amount as it was last year, $1,000 for 80 hours total. That is still split between 40 hours of extra educational experience or modules, didactic work, and then those 40 hours of hands-on community-based experiences and learning. We will continue to provide our grade incentives. So at the end of your semesters, or if you and I have spoken individually about your current program, continue to send those grades in at the end of the semesters or cohorts. And we will continue to grant you $50 per A and $30 per B for those incentives. We will also be providing tuition support this year. How we do it is we look at how much money we were granted for the year, how many participants we have, and then we break that up individually for tuition and supportive services. So for tuition support this year, every student will receive $1,000 per semester. And if you do go to UAA, which I believe most of you do, how that looks is we put in a pledge for all of our WIOA students at the beginning of the semester, and then that pledge is paid out at the end of the semester. So I have received a lot of questions about when their account will be $1,000 less after our pledge goes through. That does happen at the end of the semester. If you have specific questions, please feel free to let me know. And then finally, supportive services as needed. So this will look different for every individual. Everyone has different needs. And with the same math as the tuition support, taking how much we were granted and with how many participants, that equals about it does equal $1,150 per student for this grant year in those supportive services. And we'll talk a little bit more about those.
So I just want to explain a little bit about supportive services in that it is not everybody gets the same amount. It's everybody hopefully gets what they need depending on their unique circumstances and situation. And I like this picture because it has 3 kids there and they're all trying to see the baseball game over the fence. One of them is tall and they have no problem of seeing it. One of them just needs a little bit of help, needs 1 box. And one of them needs a lot of help. He needs 2 boxes because he's really short. And we kind of think of those boxes as supportive services like with WIOA. So some people may not need any supportive services, and that's wonderful. They just might need a little help with the tuition support and that work experience stipend. Other people might need a lot. You know, they might need housing support, and we're going to talk about different areas where we can support you with supportive services, but don't feel like, oh, 1,150 is what I'm getting. If you don't need that, you won't get that. We have to justify all of our supportive services. If you need a lot more than that, we will do everything we can to get you a lot more than that and to be able to support you at the level you need support. So it's different for everybody. And please don't be afraid to bring up the needs that you have to Kayla or I, and we'll certainly do whatever we can.
All right, so here are some examples of supportive services. This is by no means an exhaustive list, and I wanted to let you all know that I will be sending out a comprehensive list of supportive services with a little more information about each specific category for your records. As Teresa mentioned, we are here to help you. So if you have questions about any of these or need some clarification, you can always reach out to us. But I will be sending that document kind of as some backup information for you all. So some examples include clothing. This could be, let's say you have clinicals and you need to purchase some scrubs for your clinicals. We can help with that. You've graduated and you're looking for a job and need some assistance with appropriate interview clothes. We can help with that too. Teresa spoke a little bit about housing. That could be rent assistance. That could be utility bill assistance. We can help with medical and dental care. And that also includes eye care. So we can help with seeing eyeglasses and prescriptions of that nature as well. We can provide food assistance that often looks like a grocery assistance card to either Walmart or Costco. We can provide some support with training and work-related supplies. This could be, as I mentioned earlier, for clinicals, whether that's stethoscope or other materials or supplies you would need for various courses. We can offer transportation support. This can look like a few different things, whether that would be monthly gas assistance or if you're without work for a couple of months and just need help during that time, that we can figure something out for that. We have helped with auto insurance for some of our participants. So as things come up, you can always reach out to Teresa and myself, depending on who your case manager is, and we can go over some of these concerns. We can also help connect you and help pay for counseling. And we can also help with IDs and licenses. So a lot of students may need some support paying for their NCLEX exam or MCAT exam, things of that nature. Those fees can add up, and we are here to help assist with those extraneous costs.
Great. So we went over kind of all of the benefits of being a WIOA student, but like everything else, there's a little give and take, and so there's some things we're asking of you as a participant. So first of all, to communicate with your case manager at least once a month. So just check in with us, update us on how you're doing. We can reassess your needs if that's appropriate. Doesn't have to be a Zoom meeting like this or face-to-face. It can be a phone call, it can be a text, but just touching base at least a month. We ask that you maintain good academic standing in your classes. So I think there's a GPA requirement of that 2.5. So 2.5 or above. And then we ask for those 80 hours over the course of the grant year. So that's from July 1st to June 30th. But before June 30th, because we have to process the paperwork. So 40 hours of extra educational and professional development. So this is outside of the classes that you're taking for your program. We want to encourage you to continue to expand your knowledge base and just do a little extra so you can be more prepared to enter the workforce. Of those 40 hours, there are 3 classes that this grant year are going to be required. One is called Personability. It's an online professionalism class. I'm in the middle of taking it myself, and it's a lot of fun. And that is self-paced, so you can get on there, do an hour here, an hour here, and it saves your progress. A total of 13 hours. Mental health first aid is another class that we are requiring because it's just incredible skill for anybody to have. Even if you've taken this in the past, we recommend and want you to take it again this year. That takes approximately 8 hours. Kayla and I are both mental health first aid instructors and are going to be offering this course several times over the grant year, and so we'll keep you informed when those classes are taking place. Right now, they're all happening virtually. So there's an online portion that you do as a student that takes about 2 hours, 2 hours of self-paced work. And then we meet together as a class through Zoom like this for another 4 hours. And there's a little bit of homework, so that's where we come up with the 8 hours on that. If things change, there's a possibility we could have an in-person mental health first aid class, which is awesome too. I always prefer in-person if we can do that. And then there's an online course through a website called Cash Course about financial literacy. Teaches you about budgets and managing money. That again is self-paced, that you can complete at your leisure, that takes about a total of 4 hours. And we're going to be telling you more about how to access all of these courses within the next couple of weeks. We're getting them all together on an online platform. We're not going to be using course sites this year, but Canvas. So that's being built right now as we speak. And then 40 hours of job shadowing, internship, clinicals, or work experience. So this is outside of sitting in a classroom or sitting online learning things. This is actually doing it. Getting hands-on experience, doing something. COVID has made this really hard, as you know, to get those 40 hours. And so we're coming up with alternative options for you. And we'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But we are going to absolutely work with you to help you in any way we can to get those 40 hours. If you have clinicals required in your program, you will be able to count those hours too. So that hasn't always been the case, but this year, because of the unique circumstances we're in, you can count those clinicals for your 40 hours. Those total of 80 hours need to be completed no later than June 5th of 2021 to receive that $1,000 stipend. You can absolutely complete those hours before June. We prefer it. There's a lot of shuffling around at the very last minute trying to get the hours in and the paperwork to get you that. I'll let Kayla talk about the Path Academy. We have 10 minutes, Kayla.
Yep. All right. So we do have 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this presentation, and I do know that we have some questions, so let's keep rolling. In order to get more of your didactic hours taken care of, we have decided to implement a Path Academy. This is a professionalism for healthcare training week that is dedicated to you all to attain some of these hours. We have planned this for the week of December 14th through 18th, so it does not conflict with classes. The location is to be determined at this point. We do not know if we will be able to meet in person or if it will be virtual, but we will continue to communicate that with you as we know more. A few of the courses, oh,
sorry.
No, it's okay. So just a few of the courses we're thinking of including RBLS, first aid, the mental health first aid certification, as well as some resume writing and other professionalism courses. If there's anything that you are interested in, any topics, please feel free to reach out to Teresa or myself, and we can try to figure out how to incorporate those topics into our Path Academy.
Another opportunity we have for you to get those 40 extra educational hours is we're going to implement monthly online seminars the third Friday of every month. The first one's going to be September 18th, and we're going to focus on immigrant and refugee communities. October 16th, value-driven goals. We will be communicating with you and sending you out this information in advance. We're going to start them at 1 o'clock with answering questions, giving information about the WIOA program to potential participants who might not be enrolled yet, and then starting the actual seminar, the topic at 1:15, and that will go to 2:15. So it will be online, so wherever you are, you can attend that. And that will count towards your 40 extra educational hours.
All right, so I know that many of you are concerned about work experience hours, and we are working hard to find alternatives for volunteer and community-based experiences. We have been in touch with the Brother Francis Shelter. This is one example of an organization in the area that has a respite care program that may be accepting volunteers at this time. I know that some people may prefer to want to volunteer virtually, and so we are doing some research as to how that might look and what the need is in the community right now. I'm really encouraging you all to start doing your own research and really branch out on what interests you and where your passions lie. JustServe.org, is a really great opportunity to do some research about various volunteer activities in the area. So maybe just starting there could get your brain thinking about what you might be interested in looking into. We're also looking into some virtual job shadows or virtual relationships with providers in some way, shape, or form to kind of expand everyone's knowledge on different parts of healthcare. So we will be talking about work experience opportunities as they arise, and we will keep you informed.
So what we're asking each of you to do is to schedule a one-on-one appointment with your case manager by September 15th, where we can really set out, go over your plan for the next year, get all the paperwork in that we need to get your tuition assistance, answer any questions, anything else that you might need, so we can just be all on the same page, set those goals, and take those steps to achieve them. We have set up a website where you can schedule appointments with us, and Kayla and I will both email this information to you either today or tomorrow. So it's on there on the screen. If you want to take a screenshot of the website, you can go, or our phone numbers. We're asking you to set aside about an hour for your one-on-one appointment with us to get everything rolling so we can take care of you this coming school year.
Great.
So we have 5 minutes and 4 seconds before Zoom kicks us off. So did any of you have any questions that we didn't cover?
Teresa, there are a couple in the chat box that I'm going to read real fast.
Okay.
So one was, does tuition support grade incentive include summer semesters? That is a great question. So the grade incentives, yes. And in terms of tuition, it always depends on where we are with our grant levels, because that summer semester starts right when the grant year ends. This past year, we were able to help with tuition support, but we may not know what that will look like at the end of this grant year. So
when we did our forecast, we counted on doing tuition support for 2 semesters. And so that's where the figure came up. So if we get through those 2 semesters and we have funding left over, that's where we could help a summer semester, but we don't know.
Yes, thank you. And what if our clinicals won't happen until later in the year? That's okay, as long as ours are completed and submitted by June 5th. Then that you can, if all of your clinicals happen in May, that's great. But if you have whenever your clinicals take place, that will work, as long as it's before June 5th to have all 40 completed, all 80, but. All right, those were all of the questions in our chat box. Does anyone have anything else? We will be, as Teresa mentioned, when we have our one-on-ones, we'll be able to cover specific questions, and everyone kind of has a different situation. And so I know this is kind of a broad overview, but just wanted to, hi, Caitlin, go ahead.
Hi. I was actually wondering, I did not know that grade incentives or anything was available for summer semesters up until this moment. Are those still available to people who opted for the credit, no credit option due to COVID for the summer? Like the grade incentives?
That's a good question. Let me I'm kind of leaning towards that too. Teresa, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your box. You can't tell.
Caitlin, when does your semester end? Has it already ended?
My last class ended yesterday, so.
Okay, I think, yeah, because you couldn't have submitted your grades before that anyway.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Caitlin, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of whatever you've completed and you can email it to me.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
That's a good question. All right, we have, yeah, Maddie, go ahead. Oh, we can't hear you. Oh. Are there any audio settings on your Zoom function? Next to your mute bar or your mute button, there's a little arrow. Sometimes playing with those settings can help.
Yes. Yes, we will
the
definitely have. So Maddie's going to UAF, and so she might not be here in person for the mental health first aid. So we will definitely have an online option available for sure. We know we will for sure. It's the in person we're not sure. So yeah, I'll keep you updated, Maddie, on when that is.
Thank you. There was one more question. I was wondering what job shadowing was. Good question. We have less than 1 minute. If for some reason I can't finish it in that time, feel free to email me and we can talk a little bit more. But job shadowing is an opportunity for you to get out into the healthcare field and have different experiences in different roles, whether that's nursing, various fields of nursing, or occupational therapy, CNA work, dental assisting. It's an opportunity to get into the field and kind of watch professionals in action.
So mental health first aid, if you're already certified, we would ask you to take it again this year to count your hours. So the hours, if you took it during the past grant year, they wouldn't count. So it's starting this year. You're welcome. So we will all be sending all of you an email within the next day with our contact information.